Good evening to all of you. I welcome on behalf of RVSKVV Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, IDP and NAHEP to Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor S.K. Rao Sir, RVSKVV Gwalior, Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Directorate Research Services, Directorate Extension Services, Director of Instructions, HOD, faculty of all colleges, and various students of different institutes and our campus colleges. As we know, today we have the online lecture of our guest speaker Jagdish Kumar Sir, Vice President, Ruchi High Seats Private Limited. I welcome and request to Dr. S.K. Rao Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, for his chief guest remarks and presidential address to our faculty and students. Sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everyone. Dr. Jagdish Kumar Saab, I am happy that you have accepted our invitation to deliver a lecture. You are a person having a long-standing experience in crop improvement in pulses as well as in soybean breeding in Canada. Even here also, even at this age, you are putting a lot of efforts to develop the improved varieties in different crops. And I think your experience will help us, our directors and deans and the students and the faculty, they will benefit out of your experience through this presentation. And we would like to have these type of lectures in future also from time to time so that this younger generation will get the benefit out of your experience. I think, friends, you might be knowing that he is a renowned plant breeder having a wide experience in the pulses and led the chickpea improvement program at ICRISAT. Later than that, Poonam Gaur has taken up his program. That due to that reason only, we could able to develop a lot of improved varieties of chickpea in Madhya Pradesh. Whatever the progress has been made in the chickpea improvement in Madhya Pradesh, that Dr. Jagdish Kumar has a tremendous contribution. We used to coordinate with the trials initially with ICRISAT. Many set of trials we used to get in Madhya Pradesh. That has laid a foundation for further improvement of the chickpea program, resulting in large number of varieties in both the agriculture universities. This is your contribution, sir, indirectly as a founder chickpea improvement program at ICRISAT. And similarly for soybean. Soybean, he had a very good work in Canada in the pharmaceutical industry. And later on, he came here at Indore and he is doing a very good job and leading a very good seed company. And I welcome you again, sir, once again. And we are happy to listen to you here today. And then we will get the benefit out of your presentation, our faculty and everyone whosoever has joined this webinar. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation once again. Thank you
very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your kind opening remarks for the today's online lecture. I want to share a brief introduction about Jagdish Kumar, sir. He has a vice president of Ruchi High Seats Private Limited Indore, and he has lots of experience and here about 48 years plus. Since 1971, he is joined as a teaching assistant at University at Canada till 2060 at the different levels position, principal breeder, assistant professor at PAU Ludhiana, manager, and since 2016 onwards, he has took a position of vice president and lead the Ruchi High Seats Private Limited. And he has his graduation in 1970s in Himachal Agriculture University, Solan, and he did his PhD in 1973 University of Saskatchewan at Canada, and he lead the different consultancy special assignment as a soybean scientist with Hendrick Seeds National Research Council of Canada, resource consultant at Washington, and having the different number of assignments with the in his credit. And he has lead at the project execution and management also at Atlantica Canada non-GMO soybean genomic research and breeding program at fund. And another one is Government of Canada Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada industry participation, and number of enlisted different project. Another one is a major research interested of Jagdish sir is on the breeding of soybean as a functional food and nutraceuticals crop for global market. He developed the chickpea genome map and used marker assisted selection also for the chickpea crop. And he has various awards, international and national, for in his credits, like World Bank's King's Mudimbam Award, Global Chickpea Research from World Bank's highest recognition for international agriculture research in 2002. He is having Millennium Best Scientist Award, ICRISAT 2002 in his credit also. He has Bangladesh ICRISAT Cooperation Award. He has Nepal ICRISAT Cooperation Award 2002. He has Canadian Award for International Agriculture Development Bangladesh Crop, and he has the number of awards in his credits also. And next, he has major work on the chickpea improvement variety release more than 50 in India and over 20 in other countries including Bangladesh, Brazil, Pakistan, South Asia, and different another countries also. Varieties from program such as ICCV to cover 10 to 15% of the world chickpea program 2002 and second. His major another crop in soybean improvement also enhance export potential of the Canadian development of food grade and functional trade soybean varieties. Over 30 soybean variety registered in Canada, Hungary, and France during 2010 to 2015. Is having the lots of experience with various awards and achievement. I have briefed his sir's resume, and I would like to invite him to deliver his prestigious topics lecture for our faculty and students, so they will be benefited from it, and we will guess the your experience will get your experience in today's lectures. Please, Dr. Sir Jagdish sir. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao, Dr. Sharma, Dr.
Yes.
I am privileged to speak to the soybean state. Madhya Pradesh is the soybean state of India and probably also one of the largest states in the world. And I feel very proud that I am talking to those people who have done so much work, especially Dr. S.K. Rao, who recently got his award for seed from seed industry, well-deserved award, and I congratulate him for that. And I hope scientists from the university and myself can continue and contribute a little bit more to what Dr. Rao has done. So, with that introduction, I think I will start my presentation and try to share the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Not now, sir.
I have to put that on that, yeah, share the screen.
Washroom में होगा.
I have to share the screen with you.
क्या हुआ शेयर नहीं हो रही? हाँ सर. एक मिनट. Present now.
Present now.
बता दे.
Hello, sir.
Are you seeing it
जी
now?
सर.
No,
No, sir.
not yet.
Are you seeing the screen?
Sir, please click on the share screen and then you again click on the share screen and one window will
Just
appear.
1 second. शेयर करना पड़ेगा
Share screen.
दिख नहीं
Sir,
रहा
there are 3 steps to share screen. Share screen, press share screen, share screen, and then click on the in the screen
Yes,
and share it.
वही confusion.
वहां से बोलो ना सर अलाउ करेंगे.
Please allow to me to share the screen.
Sir, there is no display your screen allowed. There is no option for me. Please share your screen.
I am trying to share.
Yeah, sir, it's very simple. You just click on the share and then click on the share screen, and one window will appear. Then you click on this
Share.
window. Then one
Share.
share option will enabled. Then click on this
Share.
option. Your screen will be share.
शेयर का ऑप्शन ही नहीं आ रहा है.
ये शेयर है.
शेयर कर दिया यहाँ से. जूम क्या चल रहा है ये कोई स्ट्रीम यार्ड है. इसके
At the bottom option is there, sir.
ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है. सिंपल यहाँ से शेयर करने का. ये शेयर स्क्रीन का. यहाँ से शेयर कर दिया मैंने. यहाँ से शेयर नहीं ये शेयर स्क्रीन. बट वो शेयर स्क्रीन नहीं हो रहा है ना. हो जाएगा ना. नहीं हाइडी वो नहीं है ना
Sir, one window will appear. Then click on them. Then one option is enabled. Share. Then you click on the share.
शेयर ऑप्शन इज हाइड.
Sir, click on the screen. You see the screen, then click on the screen, then it's enabled.
Yeah, I have clicked on the share screen, my share screen, and the screen is share. I have clicked on the share screen. The three options are coming. Your entire screen, application window and Chrome tab, and below the share button is hide disable, not enable. It will be
Okay, sir.
from your side.
So just you click on this screen, which dialog box you see on the screen, then click this dialog box. Then option is enabled.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's coming, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
इस पर
हो गया शेयरिंग.
हो गया शेयरिंग हो गई है. स्टॉप करने के लिए सर
ये स्टॉप करने के लिए हाइड कर दीजिए.
और ये
You are able to view the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can see it now. Just go to slideshow.
Okay, thank you. So this is about soybean production in India and what can be done or what is being done. In fact, quite a bit of what I speak has been done in the past few years, and I will try to show some of those things. This is one of the farmers who is having a very good crop of soybean, and I wish that all our farmers will have a good crop growth in soybean. So I will start with the world situation in for soybean production in the world, and you see this screen here, area under soybean from 1999 to 2019. This is the world, and the red one is USA, then light blue is Brazil.
Sir, sorry for interrupting, sir. Sorry for interrupting. Please full.
Yes.
Sir, please full your screen. Please have 5 to full screen your presentation, sir.
I didn't hear you. What?
Sir, slideshow ke liye you just push this F5. Full screen it will
F5.
come. F5, yeah.
ओके, फिर उसके बाद अपने आप बदलता है.
आप एक कर करेंगे तो बदलेगा.
अच्छा, ओके, thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about the world situation in soybean production, and the blue line is the total area in million hectare from 1999 to 2019. You can see it is increasing steadily. And the one in red is area is almost parallel. 1999 to 2019, about same area under soybean in USA, about 30 million hectares. But what is increasing is the Brazil. You can see 1999, it's very low, around 10 million hectares. And it has gone over USA now. And third one,
No problem, बताइए.
are you and third one is Argentina, yellow line. And the light blue one is India. And China, very low, which is around 10 million hectares or maybe 12 million hectares for India. So this total is going up because of Brazil. And then if you can see yield tons per hectare, you can see red one is USA, and the next one, light one, is Brazil, and the yellow one, that is Argentina, that's going up now. Argentina. So the mean yields in USA, Brazil, and Argentina are over 3 tons per hectare. And the world average is this blue, and China is green.
Continue, sir.
China is green, and India is lowest with about 1.1 ton per hectare. So the situation is that we produce about 1/3 mean yield compared to other countries except China. Good. And this is production, total production. The blue line is the total world production, then red is USA, and then light gray is Brazil, yellow is China, and
Continue, sir.
so you can see that whatever total world production is influenced by USA, Brazil, and Argentina, whereas India and China are no big contributors to soybean production. Then everybody knows what are the reasons for low productivity. I will not try to go in detail, but poor plant stands is one, low viability, seed viability, untreated seed, drought, and poor drainage. People might not think that poor drainage is one of the major reducers of yield. You have seen it 2020, 2019, poor nodulation, diseases, insects, and legume rotation. This I will come here. This is a major problem for Madhya Pradesh, where chickpea and soybean are two very big crops, and farmers want to grow soybean chickpea rotation. I will talk about this little later. And this is RHSPL, is Ruchi High Rich Seeds Private Limited. Goals are to increase soybean profits for farmers, yield expansion and reduced inputs, develop disease, pest and climate resilient varieties, then increase soybean use for food and alleviate protein malnutrition, and develop value-added varieties which will help farmers to get better prices. I hope I am not going too fast. Our research
No, sir, it's
efforts.
fine, sir. Fine, sir. It's fine, sir.
Okay. The company started in 2014, but there was some beginning in 2013. So what the company did, of course, there was some germplasm here, but we imported about 1,000 superior germplasm from global resources from USA, from Canada, and from Brazil, and then tried accelerated generation turnover, 3 seasons per year. I will talk about that little later. And over the last 5-6 years, we made more than 5,000 crosses to widen the soybean genetic base. That included mostly Indian varieties, but also the ones which we brought from outside. And then multi-location testing across latitudes for wide adaptation, and then integrated best farm practices for insect disease and nutrient management. So this is the figure. This is little bit crowded, but I'll just read first 3-4 lines. It says speed breeding practiced at our research farm. What we did was growing 3 generations per year. Main season at Ujjain and Indore, then off season 1 at Hyderabad, and off season 2 at Nasik. So within 1 year, that 2014, we started making crosses, then planted the crop in June, and then the F1 seed, that crosses that we made, was planted in October in Hyderabad, that is off season 1, and then harvested from Hyderabad. F2 generation was planted at Nasik before bringing back F3 to our main location at Ujjain. So 3 generations per year, and we repeated the same thing in 2015, and went through from F2 to F5 stage. We went by single seed descent, large populations, and F4 generation we made space planting, and F5 progenies were grown at Nasik in augmented design, and from F5 progenies from Nasik, we immediately went into multi-location testing, 6 locations in 3 states, Kota in Rajasthan, Ujjain, Maheshwar, and Shajapur in Madhya Pradesh, Jalna and Amravati in Maharashtra. So there were latitudes from about 23 degrees north to about 19 degrees north. So we tried to cover the latitudes where soybean is most important in India. And then, of course, after you have progenies and multi-location trials, then of course your testing is in the main seasons. So in the first 3 years, we were able to go into main yield trials, multi-location trials, and after that evaluation was done in main seasons, wherever multi-location trials were grown. Crosses were made at every location, at our main location, at Hyderabad, and at Nasik. So we were able to make lots of crosses. So in early generations, we were looking for, as any breeder will look for, is more podding capacity. And you can see single lines which were grown at 40 centimeters. And we selected, among other things, for high podding capacity. And these are thousands of progeny rows that were grown in our main station. Of course, first progeny rows were grown at Nasik, but then later on, now we also grow them at our main location, and they are single plant progenies, augmented design with two checks. One was 9560. Many of the soybean people will know what is 9560, and the other one was JS335. So we try to put them at every 10 to 20 rows and try to select better progenies than those lines. Of course, that's not a very fair comparison, but for us, it was something that we could do to do some sort measure of evaluation. And multi-location trials, as I said, were grown first time in 2015 at Jalna, at Ujjain, Shajapur, Maheshwar, Jalna, and Amravati, because number one state is Madhya Pradesh, number two is Maharashtra, number three is Rajasthan. So we try to cover all the three states in for multi-location tests. This is Dr. Bhatia and Dr. Hussain from Indian Institute of Soybean Research. They visited our research plots in 2016 at Maheshwar, and they gave quite a few suggestions which were very useful to us. Then when the crop starts yellowing, that shows that the crop is turning, going towards maturity. And one of the major focuses that we had was to select for earliness. Your JS9560 matures in about 85 days, and we wanted to select varieties which were near to that. And many farmers, especially in Malwa region, they prefer 9560 because that allows them to grow a catch crop after soybean before they plant their wheat crop. So one of the major objectives in a rain-fed crop, although it is grown in rainy season, but still a rain-fed crop and undergoes sometimes stress if rains are not regular, uniform. So we wanted early maturing like 9560, but we did not neglect 335, which is a longer season crop, and we selected those two. Their focus, as I said, was on early maturing lines. And here you can see some of the lines here that we were selecting more, taller height, bigger pods. And here is JS9560. This is the predominant variety, short duration variety, released from Jabalpur from Dr. S.K. Rao's program. He spent so many years there, and he's done wonderful with both chickpea and soybean. And these varieties, JS9560, 335, 9305, and so many others, I'll come back. They are ruling the scene for soybean in India. So we looked for high podding capacity, and one of the varieties that is now developed by us is MDS 1001. MD is uh, the name given to our varieties, Soybean. So we looked for high podding capacity individual plants. A field in where there is too much of aerial blight on JS 93005 and MDS 2001, one of the varieties that we bred. It stood resistant in that field, whereas JS 9305 went down. The next objective for us is that we should have varieties resistant or tolerant. Then once we had these good varieties identified, then we had to start breeder seed multiplication. And here is one of the plots where we try to produce breeder seed of our varieties in large fields. I will come back to this again. MDS 1001 is a variety about the same maturity as 9305, and here are the characters of this variety. These are dust characters, and we take care of all those things: days to flowering and leaf shape, flower color, plant height, and that it is shattering or not shattering. Maturity is 90 to 94 days, same as JS 9305, seed color, luster, hilum color. So these are the characters that we look into those things. And that way we have but we do have some 7, 8, 10 varieties which are in the pipeline, and we have produced seeds of those. Renting facilities from others. So we try to see if our crosses are successful, if there is some genetic gain, and of course everybody is talking about gene editing. Our management is also talking like that, but we have not done anything about gene editing so far, but we hope to do pretty soon. Now, these are DNA fingerprints of some of our varieties that we registered with NBPGR, and you can see some of these differential markers for our varieties in the first one. So we could get differences, and NBPGR has registered our varieties with them. I think I need to talk about how these varieties are doing in our multi-location trials, and these are the mean seed yield and maturity of public and our varieties in 3 major states in India that I talked about, 6 locations, and these are means over 6 locations. And you can see this is JS 9560. It was around 1200 kilograms per hectare. And this is JS 2029, it matured in 98 days and yield is around 2200 kg per hectare. I forgot to tell you JS 9560 matured in 87 days. 87 days. This is 87 days. So this is the maturity duration and this is yield on y-axis. So JS 9560 and then JS 2029, one of the better varieties from Jabalpur. It was released about 4 years ago. And then JS 335, it's about 30 years old variety, still doing well, but has gone down to yellow mosaic virus. Although it matures in 104 days, but yields are going down because of yellow mosaic and sometimes other diseases. Our varieties here, this is first one, 2001 is 9560. Its yield is about double compared to JS 9560. Then MDS 5001, this is next, that matures in about 89 days. Yield is about 2.4 tons per hectare. And then the next one is 2029, 1900 kg. And then next one we have is 001. You saw the dust characters for that. And that yielded about 2.6 tons per hectare in those 6 locations, averaged over 2 years. And 3 replicated trials. Next one is MDS 7001, matures in 102 days, and its yield is around 2,800 kilograms per hectare. And MDS 9001, which is same maturity duration as JS 335, 304 days, and its yield is around 2850, 2.8 tons per hectare. So we are progressively trying to add yield and resistance. And all of these varieties were not developed in the same year. First 2 were developed in 2016. Then next 3 in 2017. 18, 19, and 20, we are trying to finalize them. So we have another 5 or 8 varieties which will be coming into the pipeline. So we think, and these we have given to farmers tests in mostly in Maharashtra, because our sales are there. And they have shown quite a bit of promise there. These are the facilities that we have at Ujjain. Many people you see here, they all don't work on soybean breeding or this one, but there are, Ruchi has many other things here. So this was taken in one of the days that they were celebrating, and we have enough facilities to handle tons of seed, and up to now we have provided 10,000 tons of seed to farmers farmers, which is grown on 4 lakh hectares, 400,000, not hectares, acres, 160,000 hectares were covered by these varieties, and we got some good feedback. This is the breeder seed bags. They are ready for dispatched to the dealers. These are the production soybean varieties that we produced, and what I want you to see is the last column, farmer yield high rich varieties. The range was, these were 1 acre plots, about 300 farmers, and they reported yields of 1.5 ton to 3.5 tons per hectare from Amravati, then Latur 2 tons to 3.5 tons, then Aurangabad 2.4 tons to 4.4 tons, and Nagpur about 1.8 tons, and total Maharashtra range was 1.5 tons to 4.38 tons per hectare. So these are some of the feedbacks we got on our varieties, and we think that these should do better than what they are growing right now. This is again MDS 1001 and MDS 2001. 2001 is a shorter duration variety, and 1001 is a little longer duration. But if you look at the last column, mean, it is about the same for both the varieties. It was probably, there was drought, end of the season drought, so later varieties were not able to do well there in that season anyway, but still the yields are quite good. So this is as far as breeding is concerned, but I need to talk about other things also, because selections of varieties is important. Having good varieties is the first step towards increasing yield, but other things, crop management, which Dr. Rao will vouch, and many scientists who are listening to this seminar, they will say that variety is only one aspect. We have to see what else we have to do. So precision crop management, that is very important. And worldwide, soybean is grown as a monocrop in highly productive management systems. And in India, also it's grown as a monocrop mostly, but sometimes an intercrop also. Indian soils are not as rich as some of those in USA, Brazil, Canada, Argentina, because mostly in USA, it's one crop per year. So their carbon level in the soil, fertility levels are quite high, and their growing season is also longer. So I will come back to those things. And then, of course, we have to see in India how we can improve the crop management. And improved varieties, I did talk about those. So first thing is about variety selection, cultivar selection, and nearly 140 soybean varieties are listed in India, and oldest ones that were brought in 1970s was Bragg, Lee, Clark, Hardy. Some of them are still listed in those varieties. They produced yields of 1.5 tons per hectare, sometimes more. But newer varieties, that 335, 9305, 9560, 2029, 2098, and there are 2034. There are many varieties, especially, in fact, mostly from Jabalpur University, that has done wonders. And these varieties have much higher yield potential. You saw 2029 yielding nearly 2 tons, and maybe more, depending on how well you grow and how well is the season. 2098 was released later. All this is right, but the mean productivity continues to be low in India. You can talk about 2 tons, you can talk about 2.5 tons, but if you look at the mean productivity, it is still 1.1 ton, sometimes 1.2 tons in, I think, 2012 or something. But it's not going up. So we have to look into the how we can handle that. And so basically, better variety and better management. That's what is required. Now I need to talk about this slide here. This is maturity groups in USA, because USA was the first country which has made soybean so productive, and they have started with 11 maturity groups. Here you can see maturity group 0 at the top. If you see 00, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is USA map, and 00 is the latitude of 49 degrees north, and number 8 is down near Texas, below Texas, touching Mexico. And there are other maturity groups also, 9, 10, and 11. And these were the maturity groups they did to match the to make the soybean flower. Many of you will know that soybean is a day length sensitive crop, and it starts flowering when the days start shortening. So once USA started that system of maturity groups, you can see the shortest maturity groups are in the north, and the longest maturity groups are in the south. That varieties like Hadley that came from USA, they were maturity group 8, 9. They came from Florida, and they matched, they were grown in India. But if you brought 00, 0, 1, 2, then these varieties will flower too early in India and will not produce good yield. Now the maturity has been extended further. At the top, you are seeing 4 zeros, 3 zeros. So 00, 3 zeros, and 4 zeros. 4 zeros means that the crop will mature there in 80 days. 3 zeros, crop will mature in about 100 days. 00, crop will mature in about 110 days. 0, 120 days. 130 days, and so on. So in USA, the varieties change every 50 miles or every 75 kilometers or 100 kilometers. The type of varieties are changed, and that's how they have matched their maturity groups and soybean cultivation area. In India, our varieties are not like that. 335 can be grown from latitude 25 to latitude 15, covering almost all the areas under soybean in India. And therefore, maybe maturity groups are not that important. However, I believe that we should give a try for getting some specific maturity groups and breed varieties like that. That may or may not succeed. I was talking to soybean breeder at the Soybean Research Institute here, and he differs with my viewpoint, and I respect his viewpoint. However, I would think that we should try to go for maturity groups if possible to see if we can breed somewhat higher yielding varieties to specific areas. So I will leave it here. If there is some questions, I can take them later. And now I come to the actual variety selection here. If you look all India indent for soybean breeder seed in 2019 and 20, uh, 2019 is listed 2020, and the first you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to JS 9752. Most of those varieties are developed from Jabalpur, JS Jawahar soybean, and they are the ones you can see the indent. And then I took all the JNKB varieties, totaled their breeder seed production in requirement in quintal 12,742 in 2019 and 9,399 in 2020, and then total for all India, all varieties was 16,800 in 19 and 13,100 in 20. So the Jabalpur varieties are covered about 70, more than 75%, and even in 2020 it is 72%. So the most of the varieties, although there are 140 or maybe 70, 80 bred by different stations, but they are not being preferred by the farmers for sometimes for maturity duration, like Malabar region. These farmers will not accept varieties which will interfere with their catch crop. And others in Maharashtra, they would also want shorter duration because end of the season drought will reduce the yield. So you can see right now, Jabalpur is the university. And congratulations, Dr. S.K. Rao, your contribution. Grateful for your contribution. So choice of varieties will have to be increased to other universities which are, and somehow we have to see what we can do there. And I will talk about these things in the coming points little later. Now, we in crop management, we have to see what kind of crops you grow, what kind of rotations are done. Now, USA and Canada, mostly it's soybean grown in 1 year, and next kharif or rainy season or main season, they have one season. They will grow maize or some other crop, and then soybean. But here in India, you grow 2 crops in 1 year, or sometimes 3 crops. So soybean is rotated either with wheat or chickpea in Madhya Pradesh, Malwa region, and other places also. Other crops are there. You have maize, you have paddy sometimes moong, urad. But point is that if you grow those crops in larger areas, there will be price crash. There won't be as much demand for those things. So people have to see what they grow, how they will sell. Now, soybean wheat rotation is a wonderful thing, and people are very happy because soybean may not give them as much profit, but Malwa region wheat gets added advantage being grown after soybean, and they like that rotation. But soybean chickpea rotation, I am totally against this. it should be discontinued. I request scientists, administrators, and whosoever are responsible for agriculture in Madhya Pradesh and other parts in India, please don't grow legume after legume. They have common diseases, similar root system, and those common diseases like root rot, dry root rot, and other some diseases, their inoculum will multiply, and the land will be totally unsuitable for the two crops that we are talking about. The most important other thing is quality seed for good crop establishment. Many of us know that seed viability is a major concern in high oil and high protein crops like soybean. You cannot keep the seed from one season to another season. You have to take special care. Then soybean seed coat is very thin and loosely attached to the cotyledons. So it depends how you handle your seed. If you are threshing with, you are combining, then the seed may get damaged. Embryo is too close to the seed coat and easily damaged if you drop the bags in which they are from height and all. So all these things have to be taken care of. Wheat seed and chickpea seed, they are not as vulnerable to seed damage, mechanical damage, as soybean is. So we have to take care that soybean seed is handled properly by the seed companies, by the godowns, by the farmers, and whosoever are responsible. They have to take care that seed is handled properly and seed emergence, seed germination percent is high. Now, if there is a rain at the end of the season towards the maturity, seed again gets spoiled. 2020, 2019, both years were like that. And seed is a major problem right now in many places. I was talking to the Joint Director of Agriculture here, and they are looking for more seed. And where the seed will come from, they are much worried. So what is done sometimes that in the Western countries that you spray fungicide spray at R3 and R5 stage so that seed will be free or have low fungal infection, so it will not get deteriorated. Soybean seed handling and storage should be done carefully. So this is important. I think most people know that. Then seed treatments are very important in most crops. It's a very small investment, but is a big return. It
Hello, Vachre. Sound problem? Audibility.
ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा.
ऑडियो नहीं है. थोड़ा बोलें सर को.
Sir, you are not audible, sir. You are not audible. Practice, sir. एक मिनट. Sir, I think it's some network issue. We wait for a minute.
तुम्हारा नंबर होगा कॉल करो.
हाँ सर, ऑडिबल नहीं है ना सर. सर इज ट्राइंग, है ना, मैंने बोल दिया सर, कोशिश कर रहे हैं, डिस्कनेक्ट हुए हैं शायद, इज ट्राइंग। स्वतंत्र,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
हाँ मुझे मालूम है।
Welcome, sir. Sir, your presentation is visual and you are visual, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yes. Now I can start from the seed treatments again.
Okay, sir.
now we can see it, sir. You are audible very well.
Yes.
Continue.
Sir, please share your screen again. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, it's coming now.
Say,
थोड़ा जी, yes sir, it is visible now.
okay.
जी सर,
Visible.
फाइन सर,
Okay.
जी 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 सर।
ये F5 कर दिया आगे। Yes.
यस सर, फाइन सर। अभी विजिबल था सर, अभी अभी डिस्कनेक्ट फिर स्वतंत्र गाइड करो सर को।
Sir, Jagdish is disconnected, sir. They're trying for So it's some network problem.
नेटवर्क इशू है उधर स्वतंत्र
Yes,
आई
sir.
थिंक.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a network issue from sir Jagdish sir issue sites.
हाँ, हाँ. हम्म, हम्म. जी बोलिए. बात करो. Should I talk to him?
Yes, sir.
सर से बात करूं मैं?
जी सर करिए सर. एक्चुअली सर का नेटवर्क कनेक्शन बहुत स्लो है सर.
थोड़ा स्वतंत्र सर का फोन आया था. ही इज ट्राइंग. नेटवर्क इशू है ना. विद इन अ मिनट और टू ही इज ज्वाइनिंग अगेन, है ना.
Okay, sir. No problem. On करो कैमरा.
ज्यादा क्रिटिसाइज भी नहीं कर सकते।
ठीक है, इसको हाइड करो पीछे से।
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yes, just give couple of minutes. We are
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. You.
नहीं आ रहा नहीं, यहाँ पे जाओ, ऊपर जाओ, फिर क्लिक करना। वो तो बोलना विजुअल नहीं है, पूछे सर विजुअल नहीं, वो तो से कुछ करेंगे।
पूछो हमसे।
नहीं वही बताएंगे सर, ऐसे ही पूछते, ऐसे आवाज नहीं जाएगी।
Please go to slide number 36.
Hello, I'm going there.
Slide number 36.
36 पर जाना है।
विजुअल है लेकिन वो स्क्रीन शेयर करो।
हाँ, ओके,
फुल स्क्रीन कर दे। कंट्रोल का फाइल किया, दूसरे ने कर दिया है, पता नहीं कर दो, जस्ट
आ गया।
यहाँ जाओ, कुछ ऐसा विजिबल है,
करूँ?
आगे कर दो। स्लाइड नंबर 36।
हाँ, मैं पता है, मुझे आइडिया है। Okay, so I was here. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir. We were here.
Are you getting now?
Yes, sir. We are getting.
Okay, so polymer treatment increases seed flowability because seed becomes smooth, and also there is less danger of mechanical damage, and adding water management products improves seed emergence. This is also sometime important here, that you can get faster emergence and all that. Nutrient requirement, that's what I was talking. And with the US grown 4-ton soybean seed yield, this is in this table, you will get the nutrients found in that 4-ton soybean yield. You have 370 kg nitrogen, phosphorus, then sulfur, iron, zinc, boron. All these things are more important in legumes than in maybe in cereals. So farmers, when they are growing, the application of magnesium, sulfur, zinc, molybdenum, all those things are necessary if you want to get higher yields. And we cannot say that farmers are poor and they cannot afford those things. If they cannot afford, maybe farmyard, small amount of farmyard manure will rectify those situations. But we have to make sure that nutrients are applied properly into the soil to get higher yields. Then planting and crop establishment is quite important. That in India, of course, soybean is sown after the monsoon rains come. Sometimes they come early, sometimes they come late, and farmers will have to wait until the temperature goes to reasonable degrees so that the seed doesn't rot and that there is enough moisture in the planting zone. So all those things have to be taken care of, and of course advisory by the Soybean Institute and universities will help on those things. But all these things are important when you have to get or when you want getting higher seed yields. Then of course, planting done by drills is quite good in these areas, and uniform depth and all that. And important thing sometimes is that planting soybean on broad beds and furrows will help both in terms of moisture conservation as well as drainage. In the monsoon season, everybody knows there can be downpours and there could be too much water. So if there is a better drainage system, that would be quite good. And thinking that soybean will tolerate all those things, yeah, it may tolerate to some extent, but at the price of yield. So basically, all these interventions, planting in rows and in on furrows and beds, wide broad beds, could help in terms of both water management and weed control as well. Plant population, very important, and optimum plant population worldwide is about 400,000 plants per hectare or 160,000 plants per acre. And if you are using wider rows, then more seed is planted within a row. And it is, you can see the literature, many scientists who work on soybean, they can read literature worldwide that lower population stands will often result in reduced seed yields. So that needs to be taken care of. Of course, it all depends if the varieties selected are spreading type, then lower plant stands may also give good yield. But if they don't spread, then like JS9560, then proper plant stands are necessary. Then weed management. This is one of the major things here and worldwide. But those people, those countries, USA, Brazil, Argentina, more than 90 or 95% crop is BT, this one having glyphosate resistance gene, and they don't need to do any weed control because they can grow the plant the crop. When the crop is emerging, they will spray and weeds will be killed, and they have a good crop. But in India, we don't have that luxury because we don't allow this GMO things. So here we have to manage weeds before planting, during planting, and soon after planting. And that weed management is important. I have seen bullock drawn Dora, that is quite good in the rows, and that helps inter-row cultivation. Then pre-planting and post-planting herbicides are available. They can be also used. And then once the crop is bigger and it's relatively narrow rows, then weeds will be smothered. Then this I have put crop production challenge in USA and Canada and these developed countries and very high production countries. They have crop production challenge to farmers, and they ask farmers that you plant any variety, you plant any way, you do anything, give us the highest yield, and they try to monitor. And I have seen, I did not meet some of those farmers, but I have seen those farmers in Missouri. That farmer says he visits his plots every day, he irrigates every day, he leaves nothing to the chance. He will apply nitrogen, whatever is required, plant properly, and plant best varieties. And they have reported as high as 10 tons per hectare. This type of challenges, of course, in India may be there, and we may not expect that type of this thing, but some sort of competition and incentive should be necessary to encourage farmers to grow their best crop and try to get highest yields. So crop production challenge is quite helpful and can be a good incentive to the at least progressive farmers. Then what I am going to talk about here is what Ruchi High Rich Seeds private company will do or is trying to do. It's trying to raise soybean productivity per hectare, enhance grower income. That would be through different ways. One is increased productivity, another is increased price, and still another one is opening export channels or trying to improve quality or do anything that farmers can get higher production and higher value in the market. I will discuss some of these short in a short way, but important to the farmers is that they should get enough money, much more money than what they invest in growing their crop. And if they don't get, then they will not be willing to grow this crop. Unfortunately, they have no choice. In black cotton soils, many of you know, there was Haveli cultivation. No crop was grown in the rainy season because you couldn't prepare the land and there will be nothing growing. So soybean has opened up that opportunity, but soybean also has its limits, and unless you manage the water well and you manage nutrients well, you will not get the highest yields. So Ruchi, this company wants to have joint programs with universities, government experiment stations, extension farms, model farmers, facilitate farmer demonstrations, and they would request government that the research varieties that some of the companies. There are not many private companies which do research on soybean on their own. So we could request or at least put a proposal that our research varieties, if they find good, they should also be subsidized for giving to the farmers. And then of course, other things that can be done is popularize soybean food use and also try to increase or start exports of food grade soybean to outside. One thing which I missed is soybean demonstrations with life-saving irrigations. Sometimes in watersheds, farmers may have one or two irrigation that they may give if there is extended drought, and that could increase yields quite significantly. Now, adding value to soybean will be a good thing to increase farmers' profitability. I'll talk about high oleic oil. Soybean in the USA, right now 90% funding is given to soybean research, which has high oleic acid. Normal soybeans have 20% oleic acid in the oil, but the new varieties are having as much as 80% or more than 80% oleic acid. And many of you will know oleic acid is a very stable oil. Its price is much higher than normal oils that we use. And if we can produce these high oleic acid varieties, then farmers can get better prices. Then superior quality protein. That also many of you would know that soybean protein is not as sometimes as good as maybe chickpea protein, mung bean protein, or egg protein. So if you balance the amino acids there, that can also be a good thing. And next thing which people talk and has been done, and I have some experience with that, to breed soybean as food as medicine, for food as medicine. You can increase isoflavones, you can increase vitamin A, vitamin E. All these things will increase the value of soybean in the market. And soybean for food as medicine is becoming sometimes a craze. So if we can do these things, and all these things are possible, we have at Ruchi, we have high oleic lines with 80% oleic acid. 3 recessive genes are there, and we got those 3 genes from Japan, and they are non-GMO. Most of the high oleic varieties in the US are GMO, but the ones we have are 3 recessive genes which have been developed by mutations, and we have that 80% or 85% oleic acid oil. Then we also have superior quality protein up to 45 or 50% on dry weight basis. And food as medicine also we have some special traits in the germplasm that we introduced that can help farmers get higher yields. But in all these cases, there will be some sort of groups of farmers growing those things together so that they can be processed and sold as a group, because individually they will not be able to handle those. This is 2 high oleic acid soybean lines that we got from Japan, and these in the you don't need to read everything. Gene KK21-D12 and E11. These are the mutant genes. Put them together and they will produce 85%, 80 to 85% oleic acid that we have tested here, and we are ready to go with that sort of thing. You don't need to go through, but those of you who may want more information, please talk to me and I will be able to talk more about this sometimes in some other time. Food grade soybeans are the ones which are golden in color and larger seed. You can see those of you who have seen Indian soybean varieties, they are smaller seeded, 11, 12 grams per 100 seeds. And the ones I am showing here is one we have bred here. This is about 16 grams per 100 seeds. Beautiful color, round seed. And Japan consumers will be very glad to accept these if we export, because these are non-GMO, and Japanese are crazy about non-GMO soybeans, and they will pay much higher price. So this thing is one of our objectives, that we will breed such soybeans. These are very good for making soya milk, tofu, and other products, which we can discuss some other time, those of who would want. I think I will move on. And finally, then what we want the farmers to do is reduce inputs so that their cost of growing is reduced and increase outputs. Now, first point here, seed rate. Now, those of you who have worked with soybeans, farmers here put around 50 kg seed per acre, about more than 100 kg per hectare for JS 9560. We in Ruchi assure that our varieties will have more than 80% germination, and we recommend and ask farmers to put only 25 kg seed per hectare, per acre. That is about 60 kg per hectare, and we warranty the germination. So the seed rate we have halved with our varieties by improving their germinability, and by handling also we make sure that their germination is quite good. And then plant protection chemicals, etc. also we supply, and they are supplied at a lower rate than the market. Then output wise, you have seen demonstrations that we assure that farmers will get on an average more than 50% advantage in their yield, and low inputs will also be there because the varieties that we are giving are resistant to major diseases, tolerant, they are short duration, so resilient to drought stress, and they have little bit larger seed. And with growing soybean and getting good returns, and then going to grow wheat after that, that enhances sustainability of agriculture, because many farmers here, they say they may not get as much profit from soybean, but the wheat they grow after that, they get advantage there, and also some sort of maybe better seed size and all that. You know better than me. So the conclusions here are, I can just repeat in a short way, relatively short growing season. So we have to match the growing season and maturity. Low yielding varieties are there, so we have to replace them. legume crop rotation we have to discourage. Mismatch of crop growth duration and soil moisture availability has to be done away with. We have to produce shorter duration varieties like JS 9560 or JS 2034, which is very popular. Unfortunately, both varieties are shorter duration and can lose much in terms of mechanical harvesting, and sometimes they shatter. So all those things have to seen that we do have good plant height. Then uncertain onset and withdrawal of monsoon is another problem that we have to take care. So shorter duration varieties may do better under those situations. However, if there is extended monsoon, then shorter duration varieties may get damaged more than longer duration varieties, as happened to 9560 in the past 2 years. And of course, low and excess moisture we have to take care. Susceptibility to diseases, poor seed, so we have to make sure seed is good. Low fertility, we have to apply gypsum and make sure that we apply sulfur and any limiting nutrients. Addressing these issues at research and farm levels will help. Now, point that I am trying to make is that anything is possible. We can get as high yields as the world average. World average is something 2.7 tons per hectare. And we get 1.1 ton per hectare. So if not 2.7 tons on an average, we could probably hope for 1.5 or 2 tons per hectare by following proper crop management and proper varieties. So future prospects are there that we have better varieties with higher yield, higher protein, good oil quality than like what has happened in USA. Reducing input costs will also help farmers grow soybean. And then another thing which we could do, I did talk, seed size. Indian soybean varieties are 10 to 12 grams per 100 seed weight. The most of the commodity soybeans in Western countries are about 16 to 18 grams per 100 seeds. But as you increase the seed size, germinability goes down. So we have to make a compromise. But being a yield factor, yield contributor, seed size has to be increased. And I think making seed size from 10, 12 to 15 grams per 100 seeds, we could manage that by proper seed handling and trying to ask farmers to grow those. Now, once better seed size is obtained, farmers will be able to sell these varieties for making soya milk or tofu. For that, many of you may not be aware, India imports soybean for food grade soybeans, and that we could do away with if we grow larger seed size. Another one is, of course, I talked about oil, protein, and there is some repetition here. But our soybeans are not acceptable for soybean food processing companies, because they see that smaller seed doesn't make good products. And once more food is made out of soybean, people eat soybean badi or soybean milk or tofu, their protein intake will go up, and we will be able to go towards malnutrition alleviation in this country. And one more thing is vegetable soybean also has a great promise. Seed size here is about 35 to 40 grams per 100 seeds. It is called edamame. It is sold in big hotels in India, even at Indore. But growing this one is somewhat a very difficult task. But we are trying to see that we could grow soybean as a green peas. And advantage is that it will be in the hotter season when other green peas are not available. And vegetable soybean has about 12% protein compared to 6% protein in green peas. So you can see the advantage. I talked about food and asking people to eat soybeans, but this is the kind of message I got from consumers in the US and Canada. They think that if they touch soybean or they put some soybean to their meal, they would be okay. But not many of them want to eat it. Bitterness and not used to it. Same thing is in India. People don't like the taste of soybean, so there is a problem. So I think my presentation is done here. If there are any interactions, I am ready to interact, but I am sorry that my seminar was interrupted because of internet problems. My mistake. I apologize for that. Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your nicely delivered lecture. No issue about network issues. It's natural, sir. It happens. But your lecture was very good and nice. It will be very helpful for our student. As we know, MP is the known as soya state, and you have lightning on it very nicely, sir. You mentioned different varieties and their character, quality parameters of soybean and varieties suitable for the different regional zones of Madhya Pradesh and India and international aspects also. Now, I kindly invite Dr. S.K. Sarma sir for his concluding remarks on today's online lecture. Please, Sarma
Actually,
sir.
sir, is there any questions? If anybody asks, would you
Till
like to
now,
ask any
no
question?
questions is there, sir. If any question will be there, we will share with sir for
Okay.
question. Thanks.
Any time I can also send this presentation to you. I can also send. I sent the write up, but I have updated. I can do that also. So, Dr. S.K. Sharma, I can send you both the files by
Okay.
zipping them so that people are able to ask questions, and my email, and I am available. I will try to interact with as many people as possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So nice of you, sir.
Thank you very much. I am privileged to give this seminar.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are also very pleased to have you this evening with our students, our researchers, our administrators. And this evening was wonderful evening where you have discussed very well about the doubling soybean production in India, spread breeding and precision crop management. Sir, you have very well defined the productivity difference at international level and at our national level. Definitely at international level, the productivity is quite high, especially in USA, Brazil, and Argentina as compared to India and China. The fact, I think per day productivity may not be that different, there is a real difference in the productivity, and there are chance we are not disheartened. We can improve the productivity of our in our Indian situation also by speed breeding or bringing out some good high yielding varieties with good quality of seeds, better quality of seeds, and also by precise management, as you have discussed. Definitely we know that the management practices are really very important, apart from good availability of good varieties. Most of the time, since we have started growing soybean crop, we are getting continuously good high yielding varieties, but still the productivity is lying between 1.1 to 1.2 tons per hectare. And the major crucial factors are really the management factors. If we manage our crops properly, you have discussed all the management aspects very well, and that can be useful for all of us. You have given the light to basically our researchers and students in case of soybean crop, what should be the direction for getting for increasing profitability from soybean production. You have discussed the constraints, major constraints. You have already told that short growing season is one of the concern. Low yielding varieties are there, and you are bringing out some of very good varieties which will be available to the farmers. Especially you told about MDS 201 to 701 and 901 with a different duration, and we all know to mitigate the climate change, we have the varieties which are having different durations, which are stress tolerant, and more important is that we have to match the flowering of the varieties in such a way so that it can match with the climatic conditions of our different regions of the country. And like USA, we should have the maturity group based breeding also, so that we can increase the productivity of soybean crop in different regions depending upon their durations, crop durations requirement, depending upon the weather conditions of different regions. So these kind of wonderful things. And you have also discussed about the future prospects, which are really very important for all of us. Basically you have discussed about the great advancement have been made towards the protein quality of soybean, and still some good work is required in this field also. Ruchi Soya is doing tremendous job about protein and oil quality, high oleic acid content varieties, and our effort should also be directed in these directions. Then definitely if we can reduce the input cost, we can increase the profitability, if not increasing the yield. And if we are increasing the yield as well as reducing the input cost, definitely we will be able to double the farmers' income, as you told and discussed elaborately. Sir, I will experience one research aspect which I have done with the JICA project. It was in Indore. Sir, I found out that in case of soybean, for realizing the productivity of soybean, potential productivity of soybean, root growth is very critical. That is very important. In most of the farmers' field, I saw that the rooting depth is very less in case of soybean crop. It was restricting up on the surface layer only. So for that we developed this subsoiler, and this subsoiler has provided this compact layer breaking up to 45 centimeter depth. And where we have grown soybean after subsoiling, there we have got very good root length, better nodulation, and very good podding also. So this subsoiling actually it provided loosening of the soil, plus better drainage to the crop due to subsoiling, and that has improved the root length and nodulation also. In eccriset, I think some work has been done that if you want to realize the potential productivity of soybean crop, there the root proliferation has to go up to more than 40 centimeters, minimum 40 to 45 centimeters. Then only we can realize the real potential of soybean varieties. So this root rhizosphere is also very, very important. Another very important finding we have found out that in case of soybean, we can reduce this phosphorus application tremendously, especially in calcareous vertisols, where the calcium carbonate content is there, because this whatever the amount of phosphorus we apply to calcareous vertisols, it gets fixed, and that is not available to the plant. But in case of soybean rhizosphere, it produces acids in the rhizosphere, and this fulvic acid, humic acid, all these acids which rhizosphere produces, it is acidic in nature, rhizosphere, so it solubilizes the fixed P, and from that it meets out its phosphorus requirement. Without any addition of the phosphorus, we get very good yield of soybean. So this will also help in reducing the input cost of soybean, in specifically in calcareous vertisols of Madhya Pradesh. A large chunk of area is under this kind of soil order. So this kind of activities we have done in JICA project. So once again, I would like to thank you, sir, very much for giving a very enlightening lecture today for soybean crop, how we can double the farmers' income, what kind of breeding aspects are required, and how by improving the quality of soybean we can increase, we can enhance the export of soybean also, which will help in enhancing the product profitability of the farmers. And you also mentioned a very important factor that in this kind of activities, farmers has to go for cooperative type, group type of farming, that will help them in enhancing their profitability. So these all are very, very important aspects you have discussed. So on behalf of RBSKVB Gwalior and on behalf of our NAHEP project, RBSKVB Gwalior, I extend my sincere thanks to you, sir, for taking all the pains for delivering this lecture. Of course, there were some technical constraints. When we are going for modern tools, these kind of hurdles will always be faced by us. So there was no issue for that. Everybody was keenly waiting for your further lecture, and it was really very, very fruitful. So I extend my sincere thanks to you, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who is known as father of breeder seed production in Madhya Pradesh and in India also. Not only in India, you have very rightly mentioned that JNKVB is contributing. You have very, very nicely highlighted JNKVB for its contribution in the field of soybean seed production, that is contributing around more than 75% seed availability of the country. So really great applause to the JNKVB and Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for this contribution. I also extend my sincere thanks to all our Director Research Services, our Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. D.H. Ranade, sir, our DES, Dr. S.N. Upadhyay, sir, our Director Instructions, Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, and all the deans of various colleges, scientists, and of course our beloved students who were attending this program. So I extend my sincere thanks to all of them. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So sir, we will be in touch with you whenever we need your help.
Thank you very much. I will be very glad to learn from you. You have so much experience on soybeans.
Yes, sir. I've done some work on soybean also, sir. Basically, I am soil scientist. I am not a breeder. Man of soil physics. Ji. No. And sir, actually, sir, I am requesting for submitting full lecture also. So we are planning to bring out one book on international lectures we are organizing through this NAHEP project. So we would like to have your complete write-up also, if you can provide us.
It is available. It is available. Okay, there are some tables I have borrowed from some books, so I will have to take their permission, or try to
You
work,
can.
but there it is available. I will send you.
Okay, sir. So nice of you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
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 Bye, sir.